Oh, what up, party people? Happy Tuesday. As always, it is a damn good day to have a damn good day. And it's amazing what happens when you stir up the pot. When you put yourself out there, when you put fishing lines out, things will bite. People, opportunities will come into your life. And hopefully this podcast convinces you to break out of that limited belief in yourself and step into your power and start to make moves. And if you're new to the podcast, our mission here is twofold: to educate aspiring entrepreneurs by dissecting the come-up stories of incredible humans by extracting the golden nuggets that you can apply now to better your life. And second, to have all my friends in life that are making moves, to meet my other friends in life making moves, to create one giant community of extraordinary people. And on the topic of extraordinary people, oh man, we have a fantastic guest on the show today. And I'm talking 8++. Close the door, put your headphones on, and listen, because Alex Morton is one of the biggest movers and shakers inside of the direct sales industry. I first met Alex in my first network marketing company, and the best way to describe him is he's just a tsunami of action. I mean, anything he does, it's like a straight tidal wave of making moves and just putting himself out there. Alex has spoken in over 80+ different countries, is a 2-time best-selling author, and has made over $18 million inside the direct sales industry by 29 years old. What truly fascinates me about Alex, just watching him over the years, is just his relentless desire to move forward. Yeah, life hits you from all different angles, but Alex has this unique ability of just continuously moving forward, moving the needle, and just being positive and working on the mindset that he always talks about so passionately. On today's episode, you will learn the mindset needed to create massive action in your business, lessons learned in finance and personal development, the power of storytelling, and one of the best ways to step into power, which is showing up with the right intention and coming from a state of gratitude. As always, we're looking for the top thought leaders in their professions, in the fields, and people making moves. So if you like this podcast, I ask you to like, comment, subscribe for more action. And without further ado, welcome to episode 45 with Alex Morton. Let's jump into it.
You are listening to Len Jones' Party of Two, where experts and influencers speak honestly and openly about their keys to success. Sponsored by TrueFace.ai, where your face is the key. For more information on TrueFace, please contact your host at ian@trueface.ai. Now, pay close attention, cause you gonna learn today.
Boom! And we're live, baby. Alex Morton, YPR, there he is.
YPR, I haven't heard that in 3.5 years, but I'm here.
Man, it has been a while. You look great. You're always out here. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm in Miami. Yesterday, we were on a yacht for a buddy's birthday, and I went to the gym this morning, and now I'm talking to you, man, my long-lost friend. So I'm excited to be here, man.
Dude, it seems like you've developed this energy that is just wake up, set the pace, set the tone, and go. I mean, you're just constantly on this another level vibe. You're constantly feeling life. You just seem like you're really in flow.
I'm in flow, and I think I'm driven a lot by, a lot of people talk about gratitude. I wake up and I'm just happy, man. It's like, even if I'm dealing with crazy stuff in one of my businesses, or, personal life stuff is getting a little bit crazy, I just wake up and I'm like, dude, I'm alive, right? I'm here. My family's healthy. They're taken care of financially. I'm in Miami. Like, I'm just ready for the day, and I'm going to do everything I can today to make it the best day ever. And that's how I live.
The best day ever, man. I mean, dude, Alex, so we first met, circle it back. We're going to kind of go through a little bit of the story, and I'm going to, the audience is going to get to know the real Alex Morton today.
Let's go. That's all. Yeah, that's all they're ever going to get. It's only going to be real. So let's get it.
All day. And I remember when we first met in a company called Vimo, and Vimo was kind of like this birth ground of so many of the most successful, awesome, amazing people I've met. And it's so interesting that to this day, so everyone that was involved in that community, in that company, it's like there's this like unspoken bond. And it's so amazing how many people have taken from there and just elevated and elevated. But I was circling back, and I remember this was like 6 years ago, dude. I was 21 years old. I think you were only like 23 at the time.
I was 20. Okay, so 2000. I'm 29 today. So in 2011, I got started. I was 21. And then when you came in the picture, I was what, 23?
Because you're 29 right now.
29 now. How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay. So, yeah, that makes sense. 2 years older.
Damn. So you're 23 years old during this time. That's crazy because you kind of went from straight, like you were in the dorms doing your thing, and then you went to straight spotlight. And for someone to be kind of building a brand, building an income, and being that kind of immediate success at 23, that's like no daunting task.
It happened so fast. And now I talk and teach a lot about my past to help some of these younger guys out who are making extraordinary amounts of money at, very young ages, because it is crazy, and it was a lot to deal with because you got to deal with it, going from the dorm room, not having a lot of money, just living that college life. And I remember like 6 months later, I'm on a private jet with the CEO. 2 months later, I'm at 10 grand a month, and then it's 20, and then it's 40, and then holy shit, we're on the side of the Phoenix Suns Arena billboard, and you're like, this is insane. So it was a lot to deal with, but what you said is it's so true. Like, one of the craziest things for me now is as I travel the world, 85 countries in the last couple of years, dude, I meet so many people who are a part of Vima, who now own solar companies, who are now YouTube influencing, people that own, insurance agencies, people that do internet marketing, people that do political stuff. Like, it's crazy what that company really did for people and their mindsets. It's just crazy.
It was crazy. And you seem to be this type of human that like you make big splashes, right? You're all about action. That's always been you since the day when you either make moves or you make excuses. Alex Morton, baby. Woo! Like that's been the thing.
That's it.
There's definitely been times where that worked for you and then worked against you. But at the same time, you've always had this ability to take any time it worked against you and turn it into a positive. And I think you can tell a lot about someone based on what people say when they're not around. I mean, I got to tell you, when I speak to because I'm pretty connected with all the homies from Vima and just the past. When I speak to all the homies, everyone has so much amazing things to say about you because you never stopped. You never gave up. You just kept going.
It means a lot because when that whole thing went down, obviously there were a lot of rumors and speculation and stuff like that. And now, 5, 6, 7 years later, it's cool. Like I've literally made peace. And I'm homies with almost everybody from that time period, and it's just so cool to see so many people. I don't want to use the word dominating, but just doing very well. Happy, healthy, making positive impact in the world. And there's going to be a movie about it one day. I've actually heard that rumor that Netflix is actually looking at it as we speak to make a real feature film. So I think it's super cool.
It would be fantastic. It would be phenomenal. Now, man, I mean, your success is great, but your personality is even better. How has that journey been for you? Just from like the OG times, like what were you doing in high school? Were you always into the idea of building incomes, being an entrepreneur, or were you just like another homie, just, partying when your parents are gone and doing whatever?
Yeah, I mean, in high school, I remember taking my parents' vodka bottles, drinking like half of it and then dumping like water in it. And I thought like they didn't know I was doing that. But then years later, my mom was like, we tasted the vodka and it tasted, super watered down. So I was doing the same stuff. I don't smoke. I don't smoke anymore because it makes me just weird and paranoid. But, smoking weed behind the garage and stuff at, 17 years old in the snow with your homies. So I was a normal kid, but I always knew I was a little bit different. I was questioning a lot of the things that teachers were talking about early on. I mean, and there were specific moments. I remember sitting in Miss Blanchard's biology class, and I remember getting kicked out of the classroom because it's funny because he's president now, but, Donald Trump's Think Big and Kick Ass book my dad gave me in my science textbook. I remember taking those little career tests that would like showed you like what careers you were going to do well at. And I remember, my guidance counselor, a lot of it was like manual labor things because I wasn't good at math. I wasn't good at science. My SAT I had a 1490. So I just like the stuff they were giving me as a young person, like school is so important, and it is, but you got to work for somebody else and you got to do the 9 to 5 and all these different things. I just never bought in to those ideas. And it started at 15, 16 years old. And I remember one night I saw that TV show Entourage on HBO at my buddy Taylor Van Lanningham's house with like my 7 best friends. And I remember right after the show, I could not stop thinking about that type of lifestyle where you can travel and have fun and money's not an issue and you can just live a crazy fun life.
Yeah, and then when that mental picture is in your brain, I know you're a big Bob Proctor fan. You talk about him all the time on your gram. What a legend! Shout out. And how do you feel about that belief, or like if something's so stuck in your mind and your subconscious, it transforms into reality?
Yeah, well, I've been obviously super fortunate to have him in my back pocket as a mentor for years. He just turned 85, might have been 86. I think 85 a couple weeks ago. We were texting back and forth, so I'm very grateful for that relationship. But the biggest quote that I got from him, and I use it to this day, and I remember at 16, it started to happen was that, you don't have to know how, you just have to know. And that was kind of my mentality at literally 16, 17 years old. I remember filling out at 17, Bexley High School Senior Assembly, you had to put what college you were attending and your major. And I wrote this down. It's actually in my parents' home. I wrote Arizona State University and major. It just came to my head. I wrote millionaire by 25. I had no idea. I was working at a clothing store at the time in high school. I had no idea, but I just was so set on success from a young age that it was just in my subconscious mind. And we all know if it's in the mind, it's gotta transmute into the physical world eventually. And I really believe that's what happened.
It's crazy how much personal development not just builds you as a character, but also bonds people together. I was talking to, Hessler and that whole Michigan squad from back in the days. I was talking about out of all the people that came in and out of that organization with Vima, they're some of the strongest people to this day, like friendships that were built from that. And I asked them, and I've asked a lot of people, and the common denominator there is personal development, a lot of personal development. Do you feel like that is just the game changer when it comes to elevating and growing quick?
It's big. It's big, but people can't get too focused on personal development that they forget the action, right? Because the whole knowledge is power. Well, we all know that's bullshit. You have to apply the knowledge. Like we got smart friends, and they can't keep their lights on, right? So you got to apply it. However, I do agree. Personal development changes lives. Personal development saves lives. To this day, I'm always listening to YouTube videos. I'm always listening to the old school, old Nightingale. I love Ed Milet's stuff. I love his podcasts on YouTube. I'm always feeding my mind because I know how important that really is in society, which is a bunch of nonsense. They say, oh, you have a college degree, you're educated, you can stop now. And that's just insane because education is this ongoing process. You're always learning, growing, expanding, evolving. And that's something that I got from Bob. I was at his home in Toronto, might have been like a year ago this month, and he's still reading every day. He's writing every day. He's listening every day. And he talks about how if the mind doesn't stop, the body won't stop. But if the mind stops, the body can shut down. So you just can't stop.
Have you heard about Dr. JoeDispenza?
I've heard the name. I've heard some of his stuff.
Yeah, I've been really interested in him recently. He's just like kind of blowing up, sort of almost like on a Tony Robbins wave. But the idea is you can heal your body through these positive thoughts. And there's crazy transformations that are happening in that. For anyone that hasn't checked him out, definitely check him out. Look at some of his seminars. They're incredible. But before we get into some other stuff, so was network marketing your first like opportunity to become an entrepreneur? Was that the first for you?
A lot of people don't know this, but at 15 and a half, I flew from Columbus, Ohio to Wood River, Illinois with my dad to check out, I didn't know it at the time, it was a network marketing travel company called YTB. And one of my business partners today, David Emanitier, was actually in that company, but I was a kid. But I remember sitting in Wood River, Illinois, and there was like this red carpet event and people were talking and this, that, and the other. And I actually signed up into this thing with my dad, and we were doing travel parties in Bexley, Ohio. I think the company, something happened to it, but I actually have pictures of little travel cards. Alex Morton, AlexMortonTravel.com. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. So I'm 15 and a half thinking and trying to sell $500 travel agency websites. It didn't go well. Nobody ever did it with me, but that was my first kind of like, okay, network marketing. And then years later, when Vima hit me in the face, I was like, oh, this is the same type of business. But prior to network marketing, man, I was in real estate at 18. I guess that was my first true entrepreneurship situation, right? I was barely 18. I saw $1 million listing on Bravo. I took a cab to the real estate school, true story, discount cab, and I applied for my license, took the 90 hours of in-person classes. I would be driving there sometimes. My buddy's cars hung over from the night before in college. One Saturday morning, I remember pulling over on 202, puked my brains out on the side of the road, kept going to the real estate school. So residential real estate, condos, that was my first like injection into like, hey, you can make however much money you want to make based on your effort and results.
Amazing. You got into network marketing, but do you ever think in the back of your mind, like, is there another industry that you think that had that industry pulled you in prior to network marketing, you would have went all in on that industry? Or part of you feels like you could have crushed it in a certain industry besides that?
I mean, I have a very high level of belief in myself. So anything business or sales or marketing wise, I know I could have went and made millions of dollars, just because I think that if you can win in this lane, you can probably also win in this lane. I just believe that.
Mm-hmm.
My parents owned an insurance company, an insurance agency. And it's funny because now I have friends that work for the same company, American Income Life. And I remember going to some of their like Hawaii trips and Mexico trips, and my parents were, they were big in that. Like that's where they made a lot of all their money, right? And they retired like 10 some years ago, and now they're living on residual income. And there was a moment, I believe, where it was talked about like, hey, if you want at 18 to start becoming an insurance agent, you can build this thing, and then eventually you can take over, the Mark and Sandy Morton insurance agency. And I remember that I had these ideas like, yo, I'm not going to do that, because then no matter what I do, everyone would just say, oh, it was his parents' company. Oh, he was handed this entire business, and it would just discredit everything. I'm really big on not necessarily respect, but pride. I'm very prideful, right? So like with Vima, it was like I used my real estate commission check to buy my first 2 cases of Verve. So from that point on, nobody could tell me nothing. Like nobody could say your daddy did it or your mommy did it or he had connections or relationships, all this kind of stuff, because it's bullshit. I built that thing from the ground up, and that was big. That to me almost means as much as the income, because
Right.
I just a very prideful person. So
You're very prideful, and like I said, you make a lot of big waves. You're a freaking tsunami when you just do anything. You always you're loud, bro. You keep it real. You preach, you're a preacher.
yeah.
It's interesting because the people typically that perform like are so happy and positive all the time. On the flip side, psychology says that sometimes those people hit bigger rock bottoms than most people that are just more neutral. Do you feel like that's like you? Like, have you hit some serious rock bottoms where you're like, oh shit, like, I don't know if I can ever rebound from this type of situation?
And this is exactly why on podcasts and stuff, I don't want to see anything before, because you get the good stuff out. The answer is yes, bro. Like, okay, so yeah, we're going in here, right? So after Vima, I went to the second company, and it didn't pan out exactly the way I thought it was going to, whatever, right? They're still in business. They're doing billions a year. I'm friends with the CEO over there. It's a great company and all that. But there were times where I don't really know what depression is, but like there were times where super, super anxiety. Like a lot of people don't know this, the night of that launch call, I remember I was in Vegas. I think there were like 50 people in the dang house. And there were like 5,000, I could see like 5,000 live callers on the free conference call, hd.com, and like all this background noise and insane stuff going on. I remember after I got off that conference call, I like literally physically collapsed in my parents' bedroom, because I just had this overwhelming energy and vibration. My body was just out of whack. As I think it was a lot of like, there was fear involved. I was scared. I was anxious. I didn't know if I made the right decision. I mean, so I've been places. It's not like rock bottom. I was eating out of a trash can, homeless on the side of the street, while my girlfriend's pregnant. I've never been in that situation, thank God. But there's been moments where, yeah, man, it was bad. Like crying myself to sleep, scared, a lot of those emotions. So I'm definitely not, I'm a positive person. Yeah, I'm a happy person. Yeah, I'm super grateful and I'm super fired up all the time and all that kind of stuff. But there's definitely been moments in my career where, I'm like, holy shit, I was living in Arizona, right? And when we blasted off from that company, we broke every record the first month. We did like 900,000 in sales, blah, blah, blah. The hype was real, right? With skincare. And then, 6 months it was cool. And then that sucker, it crashed and burned, and everybody was like, I'm out. I'm done with network marketing. It doesn't work. It might work for you, but it's not going to work for me, blah, blah, blah. I put on like 35 pounds. I was not working out. I was not healthy. I was living, we're cool now, but my girlfriend at the time, I knew she was not the one for me, and I wasn't the one for her, but we were living together and money was tight. Just bad shit, man.
Yeah, that's tough.
I've definitely had my seasons of, not good, for sure.
Because it's interesting because you don't know what you don't know. And you're like moving forward, you're charging forward, you think you're doing everything right. Back then you decided to switch companies and it creates, a wave storm. Again, you're a tsunami. When you make moves, it has crazy ripple effects.
Right.
And it's hard to be able to see what those ripple effects are going to be before you do anything. But everything happens for a reason and making moves. And now today it seems like it's kind of all aligned. But it is interesting to hear you say that. Because that was like a big move back in the day.
But a lot of those things, when negative things happen or negative experiences or something that you think was going to happen doesn't happen, it really does make you stronger. Like the whole what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's the truth. Because now, whenever I need to re-motivate myself or get re-inspired, I think about those moments. I think about when they told me I made 1.6 million in my first company, which I did. And then I'm calling my parents and I'm like, yo, how much money do I have left? And they're like, under 100K, and then it's under 50K. And then it's like, this is not a good situation. Like, you need to figure something out, because when the money's gone type of thing. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but all those moments, man, they make you stronger. So now, when I deal with different issues, and, now obviously the company, I'm the vice president of, we have over 90,000 customers, and I have a lot of roles and responsibilities in that. So now my emotional intelligence is a lot higher. And now I approach things a little bit different. Like the Mamba mentality Kobe Bryant talked about, on the highs of the highs, like winning back-to-back world championships with Shaq. He's like, I never let myself get too high. And then, when the allegations came out, when he cheated on his wife with 400 different women, he's like, I never let myself get too low. Kobe kind of stays in the middle. Tiger Woods talks about that as well. So now, at this point in my life, this point in my career, I'm not going to get upset. And even when things are going insanely amazing, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to be happy, but I'm not going to let myself get out of control. I've had so many conversations with people from network marketing. One in particular, he's a good buddy of mine. He lives in Florida, a little bit older than me. And he's like, dude, 95% of people in your position at your age with what you have right now, they'd be in Vegas in a penthouse with cocaine everywhere with tons of hookers. And the fact that you're still a pretty normal kid after all this stuff means a lot. So I just try to keep myself, chilling and just go about my business and not let myself get too big and just kind of remain humble.
It's cool because it requires a large amount of emotional intelligence to win big in network marketing, because emotions are so tied to the whole idea of being on someone's team. And when someone leaves a team, it's like having 1,000 girlfriends. You go through 1,000 breakups. And when you break up with a girlfriend, it sucks. So to be able to deal with that shitstorm and be able to have that at a very young age, your emotional intelligence must have increased.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Now it's like, and now I'm getting really good mentorship from the CEO of the company I'm with, right? Chris, the guy's taught me just so much about business, not just network marketing, but real business world sense. He's a 9-figure guy, all this kind of stuff. And he's mentored me a lot. And he's like, Alex, you'll never see me get upset. You'll never see me get mad. I'm just not going to do it, because I've got to keep my cool so I can think logically and make proper decisions. So it's just successful people are like that. Grant Cardone, a buddy of mine out here, I was talking with him yesterday. I mean, he's the same way. He's always fired up and excited, and he's got a lot of people that love him. He's got a lot of people, that hate him. That's a whole nother topic. But at the end of the day, when you can keep your emotional intelligence high and you can stay calm, you can make better decisions.
It's crazy how much age affects who we are as a person too sometimes, because I just think about who I was at 21, who I was at 24, and who I am now at 27. It's like, it's a whole different person. Like, it's a whole new.
Completely. You know? It's like we're still the same, but we're different. It's crazy. Like, my buddies will just, they'll mess with me, bro, and they'll send me because obviously YouTube, it never forgets anything. And you type in my name on YouTube, it's like 16 years of recorded home events from Vima, and I'll listen to some of the stuff I used to say, and I'm like, I'm really surprised somebody didn't get up and just knock me out at some of these meetings, because it was just so offensive at times and just so abrasive. And even if it was the truth, which I still believe it was the truth, there's definitely different ways to get your ideas across to people.
Right. But you don't know at the time, you're just grinding, you're making the moves, you're following your emotions and your passions, and it's getting people going, man. When the people get going, it just starts to steamroll, that snowball effect. And all of a sudden it's like, woo, you get a taste, and now you want the whole pie.
Yeah. 100%. No doubt.
But dude, you've just been like a bulldozer inside of the direct sales industry. I mean, particularly you put your stamp on it. I'm sure there's some people out there that got like an Alex Morton tattoo on themselves, like someone that went really next level.
I mean, it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel happy about the whole millennial thing, the whole millennial movement. And it's still so alive and well. Like, we just had a young guy, he's in Miami. I'm going to go meet with him after this call. His name's Bryce. He just turned 23, right? The kid never been in network marketing before. And he hits a level in the company. We got to do it, income disclaimer, results aren't typical. So your individual results are going to vary. We're not guaranteeing anybody income here. The kid's making $100,000 a month. He's 23. You know what I mean? So, like, thinking I maybe had something to do with that in 2011 by saying, yo, this can work for young people. And now seeing all these young people winning at such high levels, that brings me so much joy, because, do I want more money? Yeah. Do I want to keep growing, wealth? Of course. But you get to a point where it's like other things really are increasing happiness more than just getting more money. And that's where I'm at, now. Like, I literally get so joyous. Is that joyous? Happy? I'm just so happy to see people, crossing the stage and doing really well, especially when they're like close friends of mine, and I just, I care about them. So I think you're right, bro. But network marketing, yeah, I've definitely caused a storm.
I listened to the podcast with Joe Rogan and Naval. I forgot Naval's last name, but he's the co-founder of AngelList, a super successful early investor in Twitter and some other things. He has his own podcast, but he spoke about how wealth creation and how important it is to become wealthy, because when you're not wealthy, in the back of your mind, there's always a part of you that thinks, I would be happy if I was wealthy.
Right.
And you can't tell someone that's not wealthy that wealth isn't the answer to happiness, because they just simply won't believe you. So his philosophy is you need to get wealthy before you can realize that it's not the answer to happiness. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree with that. And you're always going to want more. Like, okay, so success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So success is a moving target. So you're actually never successful. Like, look, it's like, okay, again, like, I use Grant a lot because he's a business partner now of mine, and we have a relationship. The dude's got $1.2 billion in real estate. Like, he's got 2 Rolls Royces. He just bought this $250,000 massive G-Wagon thing. He's got a G550. So it's not just about the money. He's always trying to grow and reach his potential. So I agree with that, man. And, money definitely helps you become happy. I'm not one of those people that, money is the root of all evil. No, that's horseshit. Money has helped me sleep better at night, knowing that my parents can go take a world vacation for 2 months, which they're about to go do. And they can go stay in 5-star resorts and eat whatever the hell they want, do whatever they want. And I have something to do with that. So money's very important, but it's not the end all be all of happiness, right? It's not. And people do need to understand that just because you're super rich, I got super rich friends out here, And I know super rich kids that their parents are super rich. Why are they why do they take depression medicine? Why can't they sleep at night without taking Percocets? Why can't they function at a family dinner without taking, a Xanax bar? You know what I'm saying? So money's important, but you got to have internal peace and internal happiness.
Yeah.
Well, to be able to be good.
Yeah, it's interesting because the people that do smash and crush in business and life, or just in any field, sometimes on our podcast, we have people that are just living life to the fullest, whether it be, I had this girl, Lisa Kitasaho, who moved to South Africa and raises and rehabilitates cheetahs every day. She's so present, living with like these beautiful creatures, and she's so happy. You see people that have become NHL players or UFC fighters, but anyone that's become a high performer, they're so sold out on making moves. Like when I think about when I first got into Vima back in the day, I was so sold out on the idea that this was the best thing since like chocolate was invented,
right, that
it was just so easy. It was magnetic. You didn't even need to sell people because you were a living sellable billboard. But getting yourself, trying to like fake the happiness of a product or exciting is so difficult. It's like you're either so excited, so sold out, and that's the people that win. The people that are excited and making moves are the ones that become the highest skilled at whatever subject they are. But what, in your experience, is it possible to mentor someone in a way, or do you have certain advice you would say something to bring that out of people, to get them to unlock that? Or do you think they either got it or they don't?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are born with certain things, but I also am a firm believer that we're all the same, right? Our spiritual DNA is perfect. We know that. So you have to become self-aware enough to know that you're just as talented of a speaker as this person, or you can get in the same level of shape as this person, and you can learn, quantum physics like this person, right? Because our spiritual DNA is all perfect. But when it comes to going out and making it happen, I mean, everywhere I go, right? What's the one secret? What's the X factor? What's this? What's that? You got to want it. And I'm going to say that forever, because if people say, oh, you got to give me more than that, bro. No, that's what it is. Like, the burning desire is the starting point of all achievement. Earl Nightingale, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, right? So the person that really says, I'm going to make this happen no matter what, they'll figure it out. They'll read the necessary books. They'll listen to the necessary tapes. Network marketing, right? Specific. Go do 10 one-on-ones a day and tell me you don't get good. You're right. We used to have people get, like a hairbrush and practice giving their speech in front of mirrors. Practice makes permanent. You can't be perfect, but it's a tough question, man. Like, I think people have certain levels of charisma, and some people are just talented, but I believe that success is for everyone, because I've seen it happen. There's been people in our current company, you would never think they're going to go win, and then they go win because they are relentless in their pursuit of getting it done. So
yeah, relentless is a great word. When you're relentless, you stir it up. It's like, if you can stir up the pot, good things are going to happen. You send out a ton of fishing lines, eventually someone's going to get on the hook, but you got to be willing to put out all those fishing lines, not take things personally when it doesn't happen, and understand it's a long-term process, falling in love with the process and not where you are today.
People are scared. Like I there's so many friends, friends, acquaintances, whatever, who way more, smart, way more this, way more that, but they're still afraid of people's stupid ass opinions. And it's like, dude, it's just like DJ Khaled, they don't matter. They don't want you to win. So we're going to win anyway. They this, they that. It's funny and stuff, but like, it's super true. People don't want to see people win. I don't understand that, because we know that creation is the seed to financial abundance. Competition, that's not smart. Like, if we're competing, somebody has to lose. If we're competing, somebody is going to have less food on the table for their kids and their wives to eat. Why do you need someone else to lose so you can win? And that took me a long time to get. Like, back in Vima, it was like, yeah, kill everybody, right? And now, personal development and all that kind of stuff, right. Just creation. I'm so big on create instead of compete. Create instead of compete. And I think that's how you win big.
My friend John Melton, he says your ego is not your amigo. You know, it's like that abundance mentality. People feel naturally this pull to have to pull someone down to get back up. But the fact is there's so much wealth and so much opportunity in the world. It's those people with the abundance mentality that when they see someone else win, it actually truly lights them up. Not, oh, this is unfair. You know, that victim mentality, but coming out of that victim mentality and going into a mindset of abundance.
Yeah. And the whole like, oh, he got lucky, or, you know, she got lucky. Like some people hate on, I don't know, like some of these bigger like YouTubers and stuff. Oh, well, you know, they got lucky. It's like, no, dude, they were making videos on Vine. Like when you were dicking around playing video games, they were creating content, and now, yeah, they can sell a t-shirt and make 50 grand a day. You know, who cares? Like that person is winning. You know, this person decided to take insurance super serious and they're making $100,000 a month. You know, great. You know, luck, opportunity meeting preparation, right? Opportunity meeting preparation. Like Will Smith always talks about. He's like, dude, if you're always ready, you know, you don't got to get ready. And when the opportunity smacks you in the face, you have to take it and you got to go. Like I think about my current company, and I remember the day that I made the conscious decision. I was in Arizona, and it was like one day, a 10-hour window. I gave my 6 Series BMW back to the dealership. I'm like, I'll pay whatever penalty you have. Take the damn car. I broke my lease in my nice condo in Arizona. And I had to break up with my girlfriend at the time. I was like, yo, we're done. And I got on a plane and I flew out, and I'm like, I'm going to go give it my all one more time. And I'm either going to make this thing work or I'm going to make this thing work. I didn't give myself another option. And I think that people, until they get to that point in their specific career, whatever it is, it's just not going to work. That's my personal belief. At a big level, you want 50 grand a year, 60 grand a year in entrepreneurship, dude, you know, do your thing, you know, go half-ass, whatever. But if you're serious, you've got to commit, and you've got to be willing to actually go all in and be relentless.
Yeah. It's so interesting how we're always chasing this thing, and we think we know what the thing is. Maybe it's going to be financial. Maybe it's going to be more friends. Maybe it's going to feel more self-confidence. We're just chasing something. But at the end of the day, I feel like it all just comes down to feelings. We're chasing feelings. We're chasing that feeling of just like, maybe it's being loved or being supported or feeling comfortable in your own skin. In your experience, in your last 9 to 15 years of just doing the Alex Morton show, what do you think builds that feelings for you? Like, what's the highest feelings that you feel that's like ecstasy without even having to take something?
Yeah, these are great questions. You know, when the things that trigger in my mind when you say that are specific moments. Like I remember, I want to say it was Oaxaca, Mexico. It might have been Querétaro, Mexico, or maybe it was in Lima, Peru. Maybe it was in, you know, Argentina. And, you know, people or a person will literally come up to me and they'll say, you know, I was at such a low point in my life. And I've had people, you know, talk about being suicidal. And like there was a super young girl in somewhere in Mexico, and she's like, you know, I really was suicidal. I was depressed. I couldn't talk to anybody. And she was like, I just watched you on social media, and I would smile on your stories on Instagram, and I would watch your YouTube videos, and I would just get inspired. And I think knowing the positive effect that I've had on people's lives, and it sounds like, oh, he's just saying that because it's on a podcast, all this, and I'm saying it because it's real. You know, that is just, that's incredible, right? You know, are the millions of dollars awesome? Yeah, but like human to human contact, right? Like the feeling of ecstasy, the feeling of complete euphoria, which is a great TV show, by the way, on HBO. You know, that feeling, it just makes it worth it. Because like sometimes, you know, you're up at 4 a.m. You're going to the, you know, I'm sitting in a taxi cab, and it's 4:46 in the morning, and we're on our way to the airport to fly to Lima, Peru, or Quito, Ecuador. And sometimes I'm like, what's going on here? Like I've been doing this now it's going to be 9 years in February. And sometimes I actually have to question myself and be like, you know, do I still need to be doing this? Like I'm about to go on another massive European tour. in September. I'm going to be in Warsaw, Poland. I'm going to be all over. It's posted on my Instagram. And sometimes I'm like, that costs me money. I'm going to spend 150 grand in Europe, right? Doing that. But when you're serving other people and you're really making a positive impact on people, I truly believe deep down that it all makes sense. It's all worth it. And then I ask myself, I'm like, if I wasn't doing this, what would I do? Like, there's only so many days in a row I could go to the beach with, a girl and drink strawberry daiquiris. And then eventually you're going to wake up and be like,
I'm bored.
What now? Like, you gotta be like goal, like the word goal, go out and live, go out and accomplish, go out and set new things. And I forgot the question, but yeah, helping people, man, and changing their lives. It sounds cliche, blah, 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 but like, dude, it is what it is. I mean, that shit is real. Like when somebody's mom comes up to you and they're like, my son was doing drugs and playing video games and just bullshitting every single day. And because of this company and because he looks up to you now, right? He's reading books. Like, he's paying attention in school. He's not screwing around every night with his dumbass friends. Like, he's writing goals down. You know what I mean? Like, that's what lives on. That's what lives on. Like, the whole legacy thing, the cars and all the bullshit, we all know it's not there. Legacy is what people are going to remember you for and the effect you had on their lives.
It's interesting when you mention just, people that are in really rough spots and maybe they're feeling signs of anxiety, depression, even to the extremes of suicide. There's a lot of people in that situation, like all the time. And sometimes people feel very alone, very scared. They don't know that anyone agrees with them. And it's almost like, well, of course you have, depression and anxiety to some extent. We're living on a giant rock in the middle of a solar system that we know nothing about, floating in time and space. And at any time, some disease can come and wipe you off the planet. Yeah, that's a pretty stressful situation. Where I'm getting at is two things. Number one, I feel it's so important to be a part of a family. And that's, family's not blood. You create family. One thing I love about direct sales and network marketing is it's like a family that has open arms. Obviously you gotta be careful of the angry cousin, the angry homie down the street that's going to be throwing shade your way. But you got it. Like, that is so important to be loved and appreciated and be a part of a tribe. And now with social media, you can find your tribe anywhere. If you're super into, succulents, like the simple plant of a succulent, there's a freaking tribe out there for you. You can roll in those meadows of those things all day and you'll be happy. Whatever weird or exciting hobby, I think the weird people are the most exciting people in life. Would you agree?
Right. 100%. Yeah.
Right. But it's so interesting how stories are the foundation of like business. All business is a story that's been told and grown. But we're always chasing good stories that are relatable to us. And I feel like a lot of the times people, if they're not directing a story towards other people, they're directing it towards themselves. They're not going to have nearly as much of an impact. And I think that's a very big skill that, say, 7-figure business owners that have a team of employees, because you can make like a 6-figure income by yourself, but it takes a team to make a 7-figure income. I feel like that's the ability they have. They are expert story creators.
Story creators and vision casters, right? Without a vision, the people will perish. I think that's so important because, especially in business, you got to always be talking about the future. Whatever I'm on, all these calls, we're always talking about 2020, 2022. It's going to be so amazing when you're making $100,000 a month. It's going to be so amazing when you can take care of mom and dad, right? So telling the story, making it relatable, and then always having a vision for the future, right? I forget the actual like company or federation, but the charity out there that's like their motto is curing world hunger, right? So maybe whatever that big massive ordeal is, like their motto is curing world hunger. They know that that's probably like almost impossible to do, but they make the vision so big that everybody buys in to that idea. Like the company that we're doing right now, it's like bringing Wall Street to Main Street in terms of financial literacy, teaching people how the wealthy get wealthy. Let's help everybody learn the rules of money. Well, we can't help 8 billion people do that probably, but when the vision is so big, people buy into that, including myself, including you, right? We want to know that we're fighting the good fight for a good purpose and a big, vision.
Right. Yeah. Finding purpose. That's a big word right there. Purpose. Damn. That's something we're always trying to figure out. And it changes every year. It changes every year as you grow, as you learn, as you expand. Very interesting. And Alex, you're like, something that most people don't think is duplicatable is just your schedule. I feel like you're just go, nonstop. Every like 5 seconds to me, looking at you seems to be occupied or planned out. How has maybe your kind of daily actions, your DMO of sorts changed maybe from say 23 and what are you doing right now that you think maximizes your time and effectiveness?
Well, now there's okay, so I've got, like the network marketing, company. There's just so many incredible, amazing, phenomenal, high paid earning professionals over here to where it's like Alex can be a little bit removed. Like back in Vima, like let's call it what it is. Like when I wasn't going full-fledged, full attack mode all the time, like I could physically watch numbers go away. I go on the road, numbers go up. I go home and numbers will go down. Here it's a little bit different. So here it's not as much like go all the time. Like when I'm in Miami, I'm working out once or twice a day. I'm in the sauna once or twice a day. I'm trying to drink. Brock Morton put me on one of these water machines, not the
Shout out.
living water machine thing. I'm drinking good water. I'm eating good. Like I'm hanging out, like I'm kicking it, right? I'm kicking it with a girl at night, watching a Netflix thing, having fun. Like I'm living more of like a little bit more balanced life. But then on tour, it's lights out, cameras out, guns out, no sleep, full-fledged assault, attack mode. But what I've learned to do is get people in the right places, right? Like in my life, I've got 2 guys that are here with me, Dar, I think you know both of them, Dar Singh and then Mateo Gribbley. And they do a lot for me. Like whether it's, like Matt, he's like, yo, you have a podcast interview with Ian Lenhart. This is the Zoom link. This is the time. Get your ass out of the gym and come upstairs, put a shirt on. This is when you're doing it, right? So whether it's organization like that, obviously all the social media stuff people see, they're behind everything on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's assembling people that can add value to your life and getting them in the right places. And then there's the health company, Streamline Wellness out of Naples, Florida. I have business partners over there, right? Like Gary and Sage, they run the day-to-day operations. I invested into it. I help make bigger decisions and stuff like that. So I think it's not employees, it's partnerships. It's getting partnerships with people that you're gonna take care of them, so they're getting value as well, and they're gonna make your life a little bit easier so you can focus on what you want to focus on, right? If I want to take a nap at 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., I know the world's not going to end in my businesses. You know what I'm saying? And back in the day, it was like the one-man show. Like I felt I needed to do everything. I needed to be on every single call. I needed to be on every email. I needed to everything, right? And that's how you actually can maybe burn out. But today, I'm still working incredibly hard, right? But I'm definitely working smarter. And working smarter sometimes costs you some decent amount of money. But it brings you peace of mind, it's, to me, it's worth it.
Interesting. Out of all the different, investment buckets out there, whether that be gold, real estate, startups, hedge funds, whatever it is there a specific investment bucket that interests you the most?
Yeah, you have to ask my dad about that. Honestly, he's like my money manager. I've done some higher risk. We're just gonna throw it all out there, right? I've done some higher risk stuff where people have big promises and you're going to triple your money, quadruple. 99% of those things, I'm just going to let everybody know, they don't last. Even if you get a little bit of money out of it, if that shit's going to be gone. What happened to the money? Oh, well, we had to make a decision and it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. So with me, like now I'm focused, I'm 29, right? So like the whole Warren Buffett mentality, dude, a little bit every single year, compounded over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I have some accounts with X amount of dollars in them. And dude, it's 5% a year, 6% a year. I've got good friends. Oh, dude, you're wasting your time, bro. 6% a year, that's stupid. Talk to me in 10 years. Compounded over and over and over again. I've got some money with Grant, Cardone Capital. I get a check every month for $1,200. A lot of people, they're like, I wouldn't waste my money with that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I'm like, I'm getting a check every month, and then my money could double, maybe triple when he sells his property. Real estate's real estate, right? So I don't know, man. The health company that I invested pretty heavily into, I'm super passionate about it. So I think that question, it depends what people are passionate about. Like, I'm still passionate about health and wellness. I'm passionate about helping people feel the best they've ever felt, right? So like I'm good to push that down people's throats because I've seen the results it gave me. I'm 179 pounds. I was 217, right? You know, my dad's working out 6 days a week now. He was taking naps at 4 p.m. prior to this. So I'm not over here selling the health stuff. I'm just saying that I'm going to invest in stuff I'm passionate about. And if I'm not passionate about it, keep it. I don't, whatever.
For sure. It's cool you mentioned the health and wellness thing because our generation, it's so awesome how into health and wellness our generation is. It's so cool to buy organic food at Whole Foods, you know? Yeah. It's like Whole Foods is the new, healthcare plan, right? You know, because we're so awakened to just the benefits of living a healthy lifestyle. I remember in the past, I used to be very, very much about saving money or spending money on things, you know, getting hammered or just, partying my, face off. And, I still like doing all those things. I just can't hang to the level, I just can't hang as much.
I'm with you, man. Yesterday on this yacht, I had a couple drinks and I'm like, dude, it's hot out. I'm like, I need some water.
You give me 3 drinks and I'm good. Like I'm phenomenal. You give me 7 to 10, I'm dying the next day, homies.
Yeah, and I can't afford
the shots.
I can't be like that. Like I've been in Miami now for almost like a year and a half off and on, and I've only had maybe like 3 or 4 mornings after where I'm like, I want to just jump off the balcony because now I'm to the point where I can go out, being social, whatever, have a couple, shots of tequila, and then I'll feel myself, and I'll be like, no, like I'll take Fiji water, like I'm good.
Yeah.
And I think you gotta learn that because the whole like sleeping until 4 p.m. the next day, puking your brains out, stuff's not good. And if you're gonna perform at a high level, you just can't be like that. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
like Floyd Mayweather, we were at a nightclub out here called Live, and I found out that this guy, like, he'll spend 40, 50 G's in a club. He doesn't even drink. I watched the guy. He was in the club for 2 hours drinking Fiji water. You know what I mean? So, and I'm all about partying and having fun, but you can't do it to the extent of like, oh my gosh, I can't function.
Yeah, it feels like I'm poisoning myself now. It doesn't, like when you get to that level, it's not like dope. It's not like you're rebounding and doing it again the next day.
Right.
Yeah. It's very interesting of just how the body changes, but health and wellness is such a growing field. People are getting more people are spending money on themselves, whether that be acupuncture, massage therapy. It's so critical to invest money in yourself, not just through personal development, but physically getting those extra steps. Do you do anything that you think has helped your health big time, whether that be like cryotherapy, isolation tanks, massage, or any of that stuff?
Well, I'm like off and on with one of my good friends, Logan. He lives in Arizona. He comes out and trains me. Like, and it's not even so much like the training. Like the training's super hard and it's great, and you always get pushed more with the trainer and all that. But it's more so like the food, like measuring the food. I didn't know how many like actual calories was in like my scoop of peanut butter is like 450 calories. He's like, dude, this little bit of peanut butter is like 90 calories. So like I didn't know that I didn't even know the caloric levels of some of the foods that I was eating. So investing in a trainer and somebody that's going to like literally cook your meals and buy your groceries and make sure you're not eating peanut butter and jelly at 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a place out here called Vior Life Aesthetics. I'm going to go there today, and I go there and it's something called NUCCA. A lot of people don't know this. NUCCA. And it's a futuristic form of chiropractic care where they're not twisting you and breaking you and all this kind of stuff. It's science. Like they go in and they press little things over here, and it aligns your spine and it makes your feet even. And like I used to get a lot of back pain on all these planes and these car rides and stuff. So I'm in there every probably 10 to 14 days.
Say that name again. It's called NUCCA.
NUCCA. NUCCA. Like the old school chiropractors where they just twist and jerk you. It's stupid. And it's not good. NUCCA, no pain, super good. And you can see the result. Like before you leave the office, he will like your feet, you walk in, your feet are like this, and you leave, they're like this. Like
is that the same as like decompression therapy where they kind of stretch you almost?
I think it's a little different. It's really good stuff though. I turned a lot of my friends onto it, and it's like literally one of those things where you're like, it saved my life, like legit. And then I would say IVs.
Word?
I go in there like today and they'll do like the Myers cocktail. And then it's one of the things our health company does too. And then like glutathione. And then I spend probably $500 a month. You can't see it over here, but on supplements, like good, really good, like medicine, prescription-based supplements that have allowed me to operate in the more of this limitless way. But it's the truth. Like because the blood doesn't lie. Like look at my blood before, look at my blood after. It's like different. It's like different human beings. So I think that everyone listening, when you can afford it, investing in your health is one of the first things you probably should do.
The blood don't lie, but always be careful if it's too little blood. We don't want to go all Theranos out here.
That's right.
But so I know your time, you're running around, you're on this tour, you're doing your thing, but this is something that I think is so critical, and it does require a little bit like introspective thinking. And it's kind of this question of, if you could have went back in time, maybe back in college before you got into Vima, right? And you could have been and talked to yourself, right? And said, yo, listen, Alex, listen up, homie. We got like 3 to 5 minutes, bro. You got to listen. What could 3 things that you would have said to yourself that would have saved you a ton of, say, time, stress, money, headache, heartbreak, anything? And it can't be, I wouldn't say anything, because that's like a lame answer, right? Because it made me who I am today. What are some things that come to mind?
One, I would say it's good. And I would say, regardless of what happens, it's all going to work out and it's all going to be okay. So it's okay to just know it's going to work out and just relax, take a deep breath. Number 2, stay humble. That's big. That cost me, well, now it's made me a lot of money, but not staying humble just brings negative energy onto yourself, eyeballs onto yourself. People want to see you fail, and all that energy like can affect certain things because everything's spiritual, right? Everything's energy, and you have thousands of people that are like, screw this kid. We want to see him die and, burn. It's like that energy, like you can feel that and it can affect you. So staying humble. And the third thing, I wouldn't say save money, because like I've saved money and stuff. I mean, just enjoy the ride. Like it's going to be a roller coaster. Like my career has definitely been a pretty wild one, in ups and downs and good nights, bad nights. Crazy experiences around the world, party, having fun, girls, girlfriends, like just enjoy the thing, man, because it's like, life's life and it's going to happen to all of us and we're not going to get out alive, and just enjoy it. Have fun. Never get too high on the highs, never get too low on the lows. Spend time with family. Something that I've done now more so is I've made time to fly to Tulsa to see my grandparents and, spend time with my mom and dad more in Vegas, or, just text my little sister to say like, hey, I send her like, hey, I love you 3 or 4 times a week, because I think that's important, and just make time for people that matter. I think that's what I'd say.
Yeah, I love that. And there's a lot of people right now. This podcast consists a lot of business owners that have their own startups, a lot of home-based entrepreneurs inside the direct sales field, a lot of online marketers, and a lot of people that have kind of taken that step out into entrepreneurship for the first time. There's also a very big audience of people that are not currently running their own business, but maybe one day they want to. Maybe one day they're really thinking about it and they're just kind of taking those steps. So, what would you kind of say to that person that maybe right now is working, say, a 9 to 5? They say, the biggest drug in the world is a 9 to 5 steady paycheck, right? It's great. But, part of them feels like they're trapped. Part of them feels like they're not doing enough with their lives, or maybe they just feel like they need more. Maybe someone's making, a crappy income. They know they're not valued. They're not happy. They know this isn't their plan. Or there's someone who's making a ton of money, making $400,000 a year, corporate executives, the lifestyle's sweet. They got everything they need. But in the back of their mind, they're not satisfied. They want to go do their own thing, but they're scared, man. They're scared to take that first move. They're scared to make the jump. What would you say to that person that's right on the edge of making that decision to pursue?
I would say if you're gonna do it, and if you're not gonna like really do it and go 100%, just don't waste your time, because it's not easy. Whether it is network marketing or it's something else like a clothing line or cups or muscle things in the fitness game, a protein powder. Like it's not easy. Like it's not easy. It's difficult, and you're gonna have to put in a lot of effort and make a lot of sacrifices if you want to play at such a high level. And is it for everybody? I think it can be for everybody, but should everybody be out there trying to do it? I don't think so, because people say they want it, but when push comes to shove, like, are you really going to put in time, energy, and effort and sacrifice to do it? But I would also say, don't be scared, and you don't go like full time right away. Like, if you have $500 in your bank account, maybe don't quit your job if you have kids. Like, that'd be stupid.
Right.
Save money, get 6 months of savings saved up, eat at home, stop eating out, save money. So if it does take you a little bit of time to get going, you're okay. I think that building things out of desperation is super not good. Building things out of inspiration. So if you have a savings account and you're okay, then it can make sense to maybe, venture out and try to start something up. But just be ready for it, because you're going to get hit with a lot of curveballs. You're going to get hit with a lot of nonsense. And if you're going to do it, do it. Like, if you're going to do it, commit 5 years. I'm in it to win it regardless. And just get ready, because the storms are going to come and you're going to have to fight the storms. But if you do, it's going to be worth it.
Hell yeah. If you're going to do it, do it. And the storms is what makes it worth it. If you don't go through heartache, pain, sadness, all that stuff, at the end, it's not worth it. That's how, the whole lottery winners lose it type deal. So, Alex, you're the man. I appreciate your time, man. It's always.
Hey, you too. This was fun. Like I said, I don't really do these anymore because I don't really have time. But this one hit me, and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna get on here, and I think the viewers are getting a lot of good insights and info today. So it makes me feel good.
Absolutely. And Alex, how can people get more of your content? I saw Wraith Time. Like, how can people see more?
Yeah. I mean, Instagram is definitely our #1 platform right now. We're inching towards 1 million finally. So Alex Morton Mindset on Instagram, YouTube, and that's where we post a lot of stuff. And I do my best, man. I show like the day to day. Like, there's gonna be clips of this on my Instagram story right now. Guaranteed Matt did it already. That's how good these guys are.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, connect with me in any way I can help you guys. I'll help you, and make sure you keep listening to Ian. This dude is a real one. He's a good guy, and he's going places fast. So let's go.
Living the dream, man. Hasta luego.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Len Jones Party of Two. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a review and subscribe to stay up to date on our new episodes. And remember, hope is not a strategy. Keep making moves. Till next time, peace.